everyone, you're watching another episode of Side Notes, and we're here today with Owais Lightwala from Lost Voices. What is this about?
So Lost Voices is a play. It's about unaccompanied minors who come to the Western world from all over the world. They basically show up at airports, and these are kids anywhere from the age of 6 months to 18.
Oh wow, pretty young.
Yeah, but they're all minors, and what they have in common is they show up at an airport and they're looking for refugee status. And so about 800 kids show up every year at Toronto Pearson International alone.
Yeah, where it's set in the play.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is the story of two particular such kids, Nabila from India and Waqid, who I play from Afghanistan.
Okay.
And just a story about what these stories are, where these kids are coming from, why they're here, some of the reasons why, and what it's like to go through the system alone when you're that young and you don't have anyone to guide you.
What was it like working in a cast of just 4 people, including yourself?
I guess it's a good sized cast, I would say, because it's big enough that you have lots of people to play with, and some of the best stuff happens when you have someone to respond to what you're offering and then play with their offering.
Yeah, like playing with their emotions.
Yeah, playing with their emotions, and then it gives you a lot to play with when you're there with many people in the room. But at the same time, because it's only 4 people, it's a small cast, so you have a lot of time to really invest in each character. Initially, the director tried to write the story about 5 kids.
Right?
Ed Roy, right? He tried to write the story about 5 kids, and he found it was just too much, and he couldn't get into each story enough.
To tell the story, to give it justice. You have your story, you have your cast. How do you personally prepare? With the monologues, with the placement, the dances. It was really fun. If you guys get to see it, it's really interesting.
Yeah, well, all that's the directing stuff, the blocking stuff is definitely the director comes into the rehearsal and we explore stuff together. So he'll come in and just say basically, here's the scenes, and once we've read and we've talked about what they mean and how we want to approach them and what our characters are like, we'll just start playing and we'll just start reading and walking around and trying different things. It's a discussion, right? Because we're offering something and he's offering us something, and then we go back and forth until we find the perfect way to tell the story that needs to be told.
So I guess our viewers will be wondering, and I'm wondering as well, what do you do outside of acting with your free time?
Well, I don't have any free time, I would call it, but I am a student full-time. I go to York.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I'm doing theater production and design, so when I'm not acting, I'm doing producing or directing.
Oh, like behind the scenes. You mentioned theater production and design, as well as local theaters such as this one. How do you balance your time? Like, how do you do school, acting, a social life, any sports? Like, how do you?
I don't remember when the last time I had a social life was actually. Like, it's like, you know, you just gotta prioritize, I guess.
Yeah.
You figure out the things that are important to you, and then the thing for me is that if I did less stuff, I would still not get anything else done because I just laze around, right?
Yeah, you're multitasking, right?
Yeah, so I just throw everything into my schedule, and I hope it works, and I have to make it work now because I took it all on. Like,
what drew you to this story? Like, how do you...
This story, actually, I just got connected through a mutual friend who I was working with at the time, and Ed was talking to him about this plan and this idea, and he's like, I have a friend, he'd be great for this part. And he called me in and we had coffee, and like in theater especially, it's such a small community that everyone's always talking to each other.
That's true, so opportunities arise, right?
It's all networking, really.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.